In today's video, I'll be going over everything we know about the new Pokemon Pocket leaks. Now, I should say think we know because none of this is 100% confirmed. We did receive some kind of trailer. Apparently, it leaked early on the Pokemon Pocket TikTok, but that's just what everyone's saying. I haven't seen anything to confirm that 100%. But I'm kind of leaning on the side that this is real, and I'll explain why as we go through today's video. We also, saw some new cards that are super interesting, so let's get into it. First, we got Magnemite in this pack, which is crazy because we just received a new Magnemite. So we have 3 versions now. I think this is also like our 6th Eevee, a new Golbat, which is just a worse version of the other one. And we got Arceus. So Arceus is of course one of those popular cards from this generation. We expected to get this, and we got kind of a trailer with some gameplay with Garchomp EX in it. I'm leaning on the side that this is real because this animation is perfect. There's other reasons too why I think it's real, but this animation when they view the 3D card is amazing. Same with this attack. Everything looks so good. Are you kidding me? Like, it looks like it came straight out of the games. If someone faked this, I don't know what to believe anymore. But a lot of people are saying it might be because there's apparently 3 Garchomp lines. There's 2 on the bench and there's 1 in the active zone. And we have no cards currently in the game that bring back basics. But what I think is we're gonna receive one that does. It'll say something like, sacrifice this card, send it to the discard pile, bring back one of your discarded basics. So that's how he was able to get this line going, 3 of them. Now I think if someone spent so much effort to create a crazy good fake trailer like this, they wouldn't overlook something like that. Like, people are calling it a dead giveaway that it's fake, but for me that confirms this even more, because if you're doing such a good job at this, you even got all the fonts correct, you didn't spell anything wrong, it looks perfect even when they activate the attack. I don't think that they would screw up by putting 3 Garchomp lines. That's just a rookie mistake. So I actually think this is a real trailer, and I may be a conspiracy theorist, but I feel like Pokemon Pocket might have put this out early on their TikTok on purpose, because every time we receive a new set or new packs, we somehow have some kind of leak come out that's always been 100% correct. We have that not a leaker guy on Twitter who always somehow leaks something before it comes out. Like, he just talked about ranked, which I believe is coming. He also leaked trading, and he leaked what generation we were getting before a pack even released. So I think that this is just a 200 IQ marketing move, that they're just getting people excited. They're getting people like me to make videos on it and talk about it and hype up the community before the drop actually happens. And it's always within the same time frame, like a week before a new update comes out. So for me, I think they're just really intelligent, the marketing team, and I think they're crushing it. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm just crazy, maybe they're real leakers, but it just seems a little bit sus to me. That's why I feel like this is also probably real too. But anyways, that's all I want to talk about with that. I want to now get into each of these cards specifically. Now that I've given you my opinion that I think it's real, it might not be. Of course, I might be wrong, but we have Arceus EX, so let's talk about it. It's a basic just like every other legendary. It also has 140 HP just like Darkrai. It also has the ability Fabled Luster. It says this Pokemon cannot be affected by any special conditions, so that means no sleep, no poison, no paralyze, which is pretty useful. Not in a lot of decks, like you don't really have to deal with that too often. Maybe in this new set we'll receive more cards that paralyze, sleep, and all that, all those annoying status conditions. It also knows ultimate force for 3 energy. You can do 70 base damage and then 20 more for each Pokemon on your bench, so it can do 130 for 3 energy, or less than 130 if you don't have that many Pokemon. So honestly, this is not that strong. Arceus doesn't feel that good yet, but that's until you take a look at what this player had on their bench. So they had 2 Heatrons and a Crobat, and apparently each of these have an ability that helps Arceus and kind of boosts the whole deck. Also, I do need to mention that on the cover you can see we got maybe a new Raichu, we got Crobat, and we got Tyranitar. So I do believe we're gonna get maybe Tyranitar EX. We did get Garchomp EX as we saw there, but I wasn't able to make out the text on that, and I don't think they were able to in this thread either. But we're just gonna have to wait till the pack releases to see Tyranitar and Garchomp's full effects. Anyways, they did puzzle out what Heatran's ability is. It says Arceus EX in play, your Pokemon have no retreat cost. So that means this ability is exclusively focused on playing with and alongside Arceus. Wow, I don't think we've seen anything quite like this except for the Nido King, Nido Queen line. An ability exclusively focused around one Pokemon is crazy, but I guess if they were going to do it, you want to focus it around the god Pokemon Arceus himself. This is nice. So Heatran, that 3 retreat cost, if you have Arceus in play, does not matter. You'll be able to retreat and head into the active zone. You'll be able to retreat Arceus, Heatran, whoever else you want for no cost, which is pretty nice. Next up, we have Crobat's ability. Once during your turn, blank EX in play, you may do 30 damage to the active Pokemon. Apparently, it's also focused around Arceus EX, so that's really good. 30 damage if you have Arceus. That's nice. It is a stage 2, so it might be kind of hard to get into, but it seems pretty strong. Now you're probably wondering, why are they running a dark and a fire? Well, that's because Arceus is colorless, so that means they're probably just running fire energy. They put it on Arceus, they attack, and maybe they go into Heatran later, do some damage. And Crobat, they don't even run dark, they just use it on the bench to deal 30 damage per turn. So that means you can attack for 130 and then also do 30 from Crobat, 160 total, which is enough to wipe out a lot of EX Pokemon. Now we do also know Heatran's attack, Raging Mad Slammer, 40 damage, and it says if this Pokemon has damage on it, this attack does 40 more, so it can do 80 for 2 energy as long as it's damaged. This is pretty much like a better Primeape. We do have a Primeape that when it takes damage, it'll do 60 more, 100 total, which is more damage than this, but for that you have to evolve and it has less HP. This guy is 110 HP, which is great, and it's a basic, so I mean you can just search for it with Pokeball. It'll start in your hand, maybe use it as a wall early in the game. You wall for Arceus and build it on your bench, and then you know, you retreat for no cost, go into Arceus, attack right away, and then if Arceus gets low, you retreat for no cost again, go back into Heatran and attack for 80, which is a great combo. And I also, you know, I can't help but theory crafting when I see it being a colorless, because you can pair it with, you know, Greninja. You can even attack with Greninja, have Crobat on the bench, do 50 damage per turn from the bench. I also think you might be able to run this with maybe Darkrai, right? You could run it with Darkrai, just put Arceus on the bench, put Darkrai in the active. Every time you put energy on Darkrai, that's 20 damage, and then plus Crobat can do 30, so you can do just a passive 50 damage per turn with Darkrai, Crobat, and then Arceus. So there's a lot of combos you could do here. I can see a lot of potential. Arceus might be like one of the new best splash cards. Now, I know some people are worried about the fact that, you know, we're getting maybe potentially a lot of cards focused around one Pokemon, and it might hurt creativity of some decks, but I wouldn't really worry about it too much yet because we don't know what any of the other cards are. I did see a 4chan leak a bit ago where they talked about actually a couple of these Pokemon. I think they talked about Tyranitar and Arceus, but they also mentioned we might get Rayquaza EX. I'm not sure how much I believe that. Oh, they did also say we're going to get Garchomp EX, which we saw in the trailer. So maybe the 4chan leak is real too. Maybe we're getting Rayquaza EX. That would be awesome. But again, take all this with a grain of salt. I'm leaning on the fact that this is gonna be real. Do you think Arceus is OP? Are you excited for these new combinations? Let me know in the comments below, and watch out for my video tomorrow because the Pokemon presentation for Pokemon Day will be released and we'll probably get some more information there, so watch out for that. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.